This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we have discussed about the load balancer earlier. So now we are going to discuss about. I think we have already discussed application gateway theoretically, but we will see again. Application gateway Azure. So application gateway is what? It's a web traffic load balancer. Okay, what how it is different from normal load balancer? Okay, okay, path based URL you can do it. Okay, next web application firewall. Okay, and then it also acts as a load balancer. Okay, so this is the example that we have chosen. Google.com. If you keep slash images, the request will go to images pool. If you keep slash videos, it will goes to the videos pool. Okay, so by looking into the diagram, what are the resources in Azure is required to satisfy the application gateway. VMs is required, then application gateway is required, and then we need to specify the path based. Okay, so let's start creating application gateway. So first itself, I will create the application gate. Okay. So if I want to create the application gateway, first I need to have two VMs. So we'll see how we can utilize this. So first, let me check if we have the VMs or not. Virtual machines. Okay. We need to start from the scratch. That's fine. Okay. So this will take somewhere around 25 minutes or 30 minutes to create the VM itself. Okay, that's fine. We'll do one thing. We will discuss about some other topic for today. During evening, I will create the application gateway and I will set up the VM and everything. So I will show you all the steps that whatever I have done because the creation itself will take 30 minutes now. So meanwhile, we will go with some other concept. Okay. So basically, where did you host your application? App services. Okay, you have created app service and you have hosted your application on top of the app service. So you have written the code and build it through the pipelines and then you deploy it to the app service from the release pipeline. Your application is running right now. Now, if anybody asks you, how did you log the application? Like, where is the log information for your application? No, log information. So logging should be always there for the application, right? Okay. Let's consider this is my app service. For this app service, if I go to the activity log, I can see the log information related to only this app service itself, but not the application. So application logs are different, the app service logs are different. So as of now, I can see that under activity log, I will be able to see only the infra level logs. But here we have hosted some application inside this, right? But where did you store those logs? For example, I went into this google.com. I have browsed something else I have browsed. So each and every time I try to browse, there will be a log information generated, right? So where did they store the log information? So for that, we have a service in the Azure called Application Insights. That is called as App Insights. Now I will create a app service for you and then I'll show you how it is going to log all the information. So let me create an app service first. So create an app service. This will just take 1 minute only. So I want to create a new app. Just make it like I'm just keeping it as log. The name of your web app. my dev qa something, some random name. I want to publish the code. Okay, runtime stuff I'm going to keep it as .NET 4.8. If not Central US, I'll keep it in West US 3. So some plan is going to be created and it is F1. Fine. If you go to the deployment phase, you can see some information here. Do you want to enable continuous integration? And if you see here, it is trying to take the code from GitHub. That's why it is disabled. For me, the code is where Azure repos. So I try to run the pipeline automatically by enabling continuous integration. So that's why it is disabled. And if you enable it, you need to specify your GitHub account and everything you need to do it. But as of now, nobody does that. Everybody follows the CI/CD process. Okay, this is fine. Next, go to networking concept. As of now, no networking concept for this. And let's go to monitoring part. Monitoring means you need see once you have in the DevOps life cycle, what are the phases? Planning, coding, building, testing, release, and then monitoring, right? Monitoring is the final phase. It is your duty to make the deployment. After that, you should not leave it. You should also monitor it. If there are any problems, you need to rectify it. So monitoring is the next concept. So as of now, I have hosted my application and app service. And then if I go to monitoring, if you see enable application insights, it is on. Yes, just go with the defaults. I haven't changed anything. So when you are creating the app service, along with the app service, what is getting created? Application insights. Why do we use application insights? For monitoring of the application. I can see two logs. One is activity log and I can see another one is application logs. Why these two are different? Activity log will be used only for the infra level logging information. For example, if your server is restart, if you made any changes in the config settings, all those things will be shown in the activity log related to the infra part. But if you want to see the real time log information of the application, then you need to enable application insights. So application insights are going to store the data. Okay, fine. So as of now, I was saying all the application logs will be stored under app insights or the application insights. App insights or application insights both are common. How the data is going to be stored? This is what the next question. Where the data is going to be stored? So, so this is created, right? So let me go to this resource group and I can verify that along with the app service, apps application insight is also created. So just refresh this. You will be able to see the app service plan, and application insight. Now I need to put some load onto this app insight, load on this app service. Then some log information will be generated. So just browse this. Try to browse it for multiple times so that there will be some log information generated. Okay, so just click on this. Okay, I have put some enough load on that. Fine. Now this application needs to be tracked by app insights, or the log information needs to be stored into app insights. See, app service is fine. Let me just go to the resource group, and now we need to see app insights. The data will be stored into the app insights in tables. For example, www.google.com, it is a request or a response? It is a request. Okay, if I call this if from Google, I want to call another application. For example, I open Google and from here I want to call Flipkart. So what I'm doing, dependency, right? For example, if my Flipkart needs to be loaded, then there are some dependencies that is going to be in the background to run it. What are those dependencies? We will see later. And now see that this application Flipkart has opened. How are you saying that it is working? As a human being, you are able to browse this and you are able to say that it is working. But how does the computer know that it is working? Okay, so let me tell you. So just right click on the browser, go to inspect element. So once you go to the inspect, go to the networking tab. And there we have this clear all symbol is there. Just clear this and browse the application again. See, to load this Flipkart application in the background, it is running all this. Understood? If you have doubt, I'll just cancel this and again I'll try to load this. See, it is running all this. Not only this, even you can do the Google also. Just right click on this, inspect element, go to networking tab and just clear everything if you have any and just reload the page. You are able to see, right? So to load this page in the background, it is trying to get all the things. And see this, what is the status? It is showing as 200. 200 means what? You don't know, right? So what do you mean by 404 page not found? Okay. So for every application that you are, for every HTML page that you are trying to browse, how does the system knows that it is working or not based upon the status code? If it is getting 200, that means success. And if you simply open this and you will be able to see that status code 200, that means it is all green color, success. And what is the method? Get method. Get, put, post, all these are called methods. For example, www.google.com. I hit enter. What I'm trying to do, trying to get the page of it. So that is a get call. I want to upload some file to the Google. It is a put method. Put method. Post method. So there are different kinds of methods. Get, put, post. These are the main things that everybody is going to use. So I am trying to do the get call and it shows that clearly it is a success 200. So how do I find that it is 200 means success? So just you need to search for HTML status codes. So HTTP response status codes. If you get somewhere from 100 to 199, that is informational responses. If you get 200 to 299, where whatever 201, 202, 203, anything under till 299, it is successful response. Redirection message starts from 300 to 399. Most probably you will be able to see in the real time this and these two. So in 200 also, if you get 200 to 299, that means it is a success. So client side error. So right now I am using the browser called Chrome and I am trying to access one application. So okay, let's see this. Client side errors are going to start with 400 to 499. Server side errors are 500 to 599. For example, I have hosted my application on top of a app service. App service is not working. App service itself is not working. Then what will be the error? 400 or 500? How you are saying that it is 500? Because the infra level it is a problem. The infrastructure level, if it is a VM or if it is a gateway, load balance or anything, if it is a problem with the service itself, then it comes under server response. What about the client side errors? So you might have seen some client side errors like 401 unauthorized, 402 method not allowed, 404 page not found. So if you go below, you will be able to see 400 bad request. It is all related to the client side problems. That means my browser side. 401 unauthorized, 402 payment required, 403 forbidden, 404 page not found. See, the server cannot find the requested resource. If you are trying to access the file, so that is stored in the storage account. The storage account is working, but you are not able to access the file. And it shows that the 404 page not found. That means what? Whether the file should not be like whether the file will not be available in the storage account itself. But you are trying to access it. Understood the errors and the status codes. So you need to understand at least 6 to 7 response codes. Most probably important will be 4 or 5. 404 we already know, page not found. 500 means internal server error. 500 means internal server error. 200 means success. 502 bad gateway, 503 service unavailable. So these are the very important words. Yeah, 504 gateway timeout. When we are working with the application gateway, then you will understand what is this. Okay. So 502 bad gateway, 503 service unavailable, 500 internal server error, 501 you won't be able to see 501. Okay, this is why we are discussing about this in the sense when you are trying to access the application as a human being, you know that it is working. But how does the system knows that it is working? Based upon the status code. Okay. Now, okay. So the application insights is created, right? So in the application insights, we are going to store the log information about the application. So where is this? Yeah, this one. My application insights. Okay. How the app service is sending the data to the application insights. First, we need to understand that, right? So there is a connection between these two. So how can we prove it? Understood the point? See, for example, I have an app service and I have an application inside. When I'm creating the app service, I just kept it as off so that the application insights is not getting created. After that, I manually created it. I need to specify the connection between these two, right? How? So, for connecting to the application insights, they are giving a key. That key is called instrumentation key. So, based on this key, it will authenticate. But how? So, you need to provide the connection string. So based upon this connection string, it is going to authenticate. In the connection string, what is there? The instrumentation key only we have. See this, A7717. So how are you going to connect the app service from the, see, how you are going to connect the app service to the app insights based upon the connection string. In the connection string, it is going to have the instrumentation key. Okay. Now, based on this, we can connect. But did we mention anywhere? No. So let's go to the app service. Basically, who is sending the logs? App service. So if you go to the app service, if you go to the configuration part, so for this app service, that app inside is connected, right? We need to see. If you go to the application settings, here you are able to see the key, right? A77. Right now I'm in where? I'm in app service. I have verified the details of the app insights. So by mentioning this app insight instrumentation key and the connection string, it is able to connect to the app insights. Got it? So this is how the app service is connected to the app insight. Because of the setting is available here, that's why it is able to connect it to that app insight. Okay. Now tell me a scenario. Can I have one app service, like can I have multiple app services to send it into one application inside? Is it possible or not possible? Yes, it is possible. So you need to go for each app service, and in the configuration part, you need to add that one app insight information in all the app services so that it will be connected. And see what is happening. If this application or if the app service needs to send the information to the app inside, then an agent should be installed on that app insight. An app insight agent should be installed on that app service so that it is going to always send the information. So these are the settings for that actually. So these are the four settings that is available for the app service to send the information to the app insight. Fine. So now that I have proved that it is connected. So let's see how the log information is going to look like. So I'll go to the application insights. So this is my application insight and I put some load on that, right? So basically it should show some data, right? I already put some data on top of that app service. So here you will be able to see the number of failed requests, server response time, all these kind of information here, number of service requests that you have sent, all these things. So here it is a graphical representation, but that's fine. But somehow we want to find out the log information. So the log information will be always stored into the app insights in a tables. In a table, it is going to store all the information. What are different kinds of tables available? So if you go to this logs, here you will be able to see the logs. If you don't know how to write the query, they are just going to give you some examples also, but that's fine. Okay. Okay, now if you want to have some predefined queries, you can just directly run this. It is going to show you the duration over the last 12 hours. What is the server response time? These are the by default queries, but I don't want to write any by default queries. I want to write the queries by my own. So just cancel this. I was saying the data will be stored in where? Tables. All these are called tables. Availability results, browser timings, custom events, custom metrics, dependencies, exceptions, and then we do have request traces, page views. If I want to find out the number of requests that has been received to this app service, I can go to the request table. So before explaining this, how to write a query, first I want to show you a easy thing. We have a website called W3 Schools. In the W3 Schools, it will be easy for you to understand how to write a query and how the data will be stored in a SQL Server or any databases. W3 Schools SQL. Just take this. So SQL tutorial. What do you mean by SQL? SQL, structured query language. Why we use SQL? To store the information into the table, to retrieve the information into the table, or to delete any information in the table. So in wherever you go, in every database, you are going to store the data in the tables, in the table format. Actually, a table contains what? Rows, columns. So you are going to store the data into rows and columns. Okay. So first, how can you create a table and how can you add some data into the table? And once it is added, how can you retrieve the data? So to retrieve the data or to store the data or to manipulate the data, we need to use a language called SQL, structured query language. So, so if you want to put some time on studying about this, you can go for W3 schools and go for SQL. So this is not mandatory, but at some point of time, you will be getting a chance to look into this. So see this. Why I am saying this was you can directly practice it here itself. So let's run this. Here customers is there, right? I have stored all the customers details in the table. What is the customer ID, customer name, contact name, everything is I have stored in the tables. Now, to retrieve the data from the tables, I have used select star from. I want to select. Select what? Star. Star means everything, both rows and columns. From which table? Customers table. So that's why I am able to get all this information. Okay. Now, can I create a table on my own? Yes, if you want to create, you can create. So I just want to show you how you need to write the query. Select a star from customers. If I don't want to keep star, I just want to get only the customer ID only. I don't want all this information. So instead of star, I'll keep customer ID. This is the column name, right? Just run this. I got that only customer ID. Okay. Along with the customer ID, if I want to get some other columns also, like I'm just going to copy the names. Control C, contact name. Okay. So not star. I just want to get customer name, comma, contact name. I want to run only this. I'll just remove these two and run the SQL. We got the two columns, right? So the data will be always stored in the tables. If you want to get the data from the tables, you need to write the SQL. Okay. Now, as of now, whatever I have shown you was like in this tables, customers table, I want to find out a specific person. The person name is Thomas Hardy. The customer name is. I want to get the details of only this person. So what I need to do, I need to filter, right? How are you going to filter here? You need to use where condition. Where customer, What is the column name? Contact name is equals to Thomas Hardy. It is a string or integer. Integer means numbers. Is it numbers? No. It is a string, right? You need to mention the string in quotation marks. Okay. Just run the SQL. Okay, now you are able to get only that particular name, right? So if you want to filter out, you need to use where condition. Okay. So till this point, any doubt? No doubts. Okay. The query that we have used here was SQL, structured query language. But when you goes to the application inside, the query that you need to write here was Kusto query, KQL. The syntax will be different. KQL, Kusto query language. So you need to write some Kusto query language to get the details from the table. So here, what is the table name? Request, right? Okay, I'll just go here. Yeah. Earlier you used to get the information by using select the star from table name, right? What is the table name? Request. If you run this, so you can run it here itself. I'll just need to, okay, run this here. The query could not be passed on request because this is SQL syntax. This is KQL, right? Here you need to use KQL, but I am using SQL, so that's why it is not able to understand. What is the difference between SQL and KQL? The syntax. Here I don't have to keep anything like this. I can directly run the table. See, as of now, no results found from the last 24 hours. Is it error? No. It ran actually, but there is no data inside it. That's why it is not able to show any information. So you will be able to get that log information to be stored into this request. Not only this request, even if you want to find out the number of errors, you can find all the errors here. So let me just show you. I want to find the number of exceptions that has happened. So I'll take this exceptions as the table name and just run this. Select this and run this. Running your query and there is no data for the last 24 hours. Basically, it will take some time to load that log information. That's fine. I will show you how to write the query, but before first we need to find out how we should send some log information to it. Now I will use one service within the app inside itself. Okay, this is my app service, right? I'm able to browse this app service and I'm able to say that it is working. So now your manager asks you to make this, always check for this application whether it is running or not. What is the best thing that you can do? Copy the URL. Whenever you remember, you simply paste it in the browser, hit enter. If it is working, it is working. Like this, is it manual or automatic? Complete manual. So you cannot do it for all the time, right? So I want to check that application if it is working or not. Always. Okay. How are you going to check that? First example. First, you will take a command prompt and you will ping that URL. For example, if Google is working or not, how you are going to check it? www.google.com ping. I'm getting the response, right? That means Google is working. If the application is working or not, how you are going to say based upon the result status code, HTTP status code. If it is getting 200, that means it is working. If it is not 200, that means it is not working. So that's why I'm going to make a ping test. So from where my app insights. So if you go to this app inside, here you have the option called availability. Whether if you have your application available or not, I'm going to make a test here. Do you want to use the classic test or the standard test? I want to do the classic test first. Let's see. I want to do what? URL ping testing. So what is your test name? My URL test. Is it a URL test or multi-step? I want to ping that URL. And what is that URL? You can copy it from the app service. So copy this and go back to this app inside and paste it here. So this is the URL that they always want to ping. Okay. Enable retrace for availability test file. Fine. I want to ping this URL, but my app service is not only available to India persons, it is available for all over the world. So I need to ping it from multiple locations, right? Whether it is working or not. So that's why I am going to keep the locations from multiple. So from West US, Southeast, UK, South, all these locations, it is going to ping that. Okay. See the success criteria. Status code must be is equals to, so that means if it is equals to 200, that means it is working. If it is not working, then the status code is not equal to 200, that means it is not working. Okay, so I am always going to look for status code 200. And what is the test amount? You need to do it for the 120 seconds. You need to test that out. And content must contain, that's fine, I'm not going to look for any content. And you can see the alert is enabled. So as of now, forget about this alert. We will discuss this later. Just create this. So what I have done was I have taken the URL of my app service and I was keep on pinging the URL. How I am going to say that it is not working? Because if it doesn't get status code 200, that means it is not working. Okay. So the availability test is created successfully. When it is trying to ping from multiple locations, it will generate some log information, right? That log information, where it needs to store, it needs to store it somewhere in the app insights. Where? So you just need to go for the logs. There in the logs, you will be able to see the table name called as availability results. That is what we are doing, right? Availability test. Okay. So that's what we need to do. Just 1 second, yes. Okay. So The availability test results will be always stored into a table called availability test table. So what I was doing actually, I was always trying to see that whether the application is available or not. How? By making the availability test. So once the availability test is configured, then I'm going to store by default it is going to store under app insights table called availability results. So first I will see whether the data has been pushed into this or not. So availability results. So just keep only the table name, and once if you go here, just run this, and now you will be getting some data inside here. Yes, see. So my URL test, and then it is trying to bring from 5 different locations, and then it says that it is passed. Success here it is showing as 1. That means that is it is success. 0 represents failure. And what is the time duration that has taken to ping that URL from different locations? And then what is the IP address when they are trying to find it? As of now, we are not storing any IP address. That's fine. From which client city they are trying to ping that URL, and then you can see country also, ID, application name, key, everything you are going to see it here. Okay. Now, if you go here, so the name of the test is something like this, and it is passed. Success is fine. Now the log information is stored, right? Now we need to write some queries to filter out the results. How? Okay, so let's see. This is very important. So in real time, you are going to use this for sure. This application insights and the push queries. So availability till this point it is fine. When I have run this availability results, how many records I got? 5. Okay. I want to find it from a specific location called central US. So that means filter out, right? So you need to keep a symbol called pipe symbol. This pipe symbol, it will be on top of the backslash. You need to shift backslash. So then it will be giving you the pipe symbol. What does this pipe symbol, what it is going to do? Whatever the output that you got from this, give it as an input to the next line. Understood? Where location, earlier how you used to do it, location is equals to, so the contact name is equals to some Tom Hardy you kept it, but here location double equals to, it is not single equals, it is double equals to central US. Copy this, and it is a string, right? Central US. Just run this. So you are all going to get only the central US people. See why this pipe symbol is used. Whatever the output you got from here, give it as an input to this statement. Here, let's consider I have 5 records. That 5 records is passed into the where condition. When it is passed into the where condition, how many records I got? 2 records. If I want to pass these 2 records into any other where statement, I can pass it. Understood? That's why we use pipe symbol. Okay. Now till this point it is fine. I want to find out the number of requests or number of availability tests that are failed. How can you find it? Now everything is success. If I want to find out the number of availability tests that are failed, how can you find it? So look at into the column names. It is showing success. Success means if it is showing as 1, that means it is success. If I keep 0, failure, right? So do I have any failures as of now? No. I will keep one more where condition where success double is equals to 0. If I keep 1, that means I want only the success one. You just run this, you will get all the success one. If I keep double equals to 0, that means I want to see the number of failures. Do we have any failures? No results. Understood? Okay. Now, till this point, it is fine. Let's try something else. What is the other table that we have? As of now, we are taking availability test results as a table. So let's go to request table. Let's see if it generated any log information. I'm trying to do it for the last 24 hours. Till now, the data is not here. That's fine. We will get the data somehow. We will see it. For my practice, if you just open this, here you are able to see all the things, right? What is this? Column names. And what they are defining here, it is a string, integer, real time integer, real, duration, string, dynamic. So they have kept all the column names. So if you want to see the column names, here also you can see the column names. Now I am doing the availability test, and my right now my app service is on and it is able to pass it. Now what I will do is I will stop my app service. Now it will get success or failure. Failure. So let's see we get the failure information or not in the logs. So it will take some 2 to 3 minutes. You just need to wait for it. Okay, so I don't want this. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, now it will try to keep on pinging that URL, and when I turn that off, what is the status code? Not 200. Okay, if you have a doubt, go and browse it. 403, right? It is not equals to 200. So it needs to say that it is failure. The web app is stopped. And even if you go to this inspect element, and you will be able to see the same code here also. Go to networking tab, clear everything, and just refresh this. 403. Okay. And even if you want to go to the console, you can see it in the console also. So I will just remove all this and just enable, run this. 40, then when they are trying to do the get call, it is getting 403. Okay, fine. So let the log information may be loaded and we'll see availability test results. Now, till this data gets loaded, what I want to do is, okay, still the data is still success only. We will give 2 to 3 minutes and then we will see. Now, let's consider a scenario. I have two tables. One is availability test results and second one is request. I want to join these two tables to get a proper information. For example, consider like this. I have two tables. One is student and the second table is student address. Okay, two tables I have. In the student table, I am going to maintain the student information. And for let's consider it is Ramesh. And his roll number is R001. And he is studying 8th class. Okay. For the student address, I am going to keep it as Amirpet. So for a single student, I have stored the information in how many tables? Two tables. If I want to get the complete address and the ID of these of a single person, what I need to do? I need to join these two tables. So joining is mandatory, right? How can you join? For example, I have one more thing is I'll just write here. I have Suresh. Suresh roll number is S004 and then he is studying 10th class and he is from Ipitas, Chennai. If I join the two tables, there might be a chance that Ramesh information can be shown to Chennai, Suresh information can be shown to Amirpet. There might be a chance, right? So how can we say that whether the address is correct or not for this particular student or not? So first, for that, what I am going to do is I am going to create index. So I'll keep one roll number for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. For the same student address table, I'm going to keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So once if I keep one should be matching to one, two should be matching to two. So in that way I can say that okay, this record, this is correct. Okay, let's consider this is fine till this point, it is fine. I just want to join. What kind of a join you want to use? Full join, left join, right join, inner join, outer join. We have different kind of joins. So if you want to study some information about the joins, so go to the W3 schools. There you will be having a beautiful explanation about it. So let me just control F this join. Yeah. SQL joins. Why do we use SQL joins? A join clause is used to combine rows from one table to a number of tables. Okay. Now take a scenario. This is table A and this is table B. I want to find out the number of people who are common from these two tables. Okay. At that time, what you are going to do? Table A and keep the table B here. So this is the common point, right? This is called as inner join. Okay, let's see. They are going to give you the images also. If you go with the inner join, see this is the inner join. So it is inner join is going to show you the common data between the two tables. What is the left join? It is going to give you the number of records in the left table and matching records in the right table. If you take the right join, it will give you the complete right table and the matching records in the left table. What is full join? Join two tables, that's it. If it is matching or not. If you want to join the two tables, join two tables, that's it. What is self join? Joining the table with its own. I want to join table A with table A only. In that case, you can take self join. Self join is a regular join, but the table is joined with itself. So if you want to study some information about the joins, you can study. Okay. So in SQL, I will be able to use joins. But what about the KQL? Is it possible or not possible? Yes, it is possible here also. So you need to make use of pipe symbol. Whatever the output that I get from the table one, take the output and give it as an input to the second table by using join. Which table you want to join? I want to join request. So as of now, you are just saying that even in SQL also, you are just saying that join these two tables. There is always a mandatory thing when you want to join two tables. If you want to join table A and table B, there should be a common column between these two tables. For example, in this, I kept an index, right? I'm going to keep it as 1, 2, right? Here also, in the location, I'm going to keep it as 1 and 2, right? So this is the common column or not? Index is the common column or not? So if I want to join two tables, I need to have a common column between these two tables. What is the common column? Index. So based upon the index, I can join. So if you go to this join, so take the inner join, see the expression here. Select from table A, table 1, inner join table 2 on table 1 loan say whatever the column that I have in the table 1 is equals to whatever the column that is I have in the table 2. So index dot table 1 dot index is equals to table 2 dot index. I'm manually saying that this column is equals to this column. Understood? So this is the condition. Table 1 లో ఉండే ఈ కాలం టేబుల్ 2 లో ఉండే ఈ కాలం కి ఈక్వల్. So you just need to mention the on condition. Like the same way, you need to do the same thing in the Kusto also. On left and right is there, right? Left means this table, right means this table. On the left side, the table name, like what are the column name that I have timestamp is equals to dollar right side and timestamp key equal. I can specify the condition like this. I'm just giving you a brief overview. I'm not writing it as of now. So this way also you can make use of joins. Okay. So I'm just going to delete this and I just want to run request. No data. Okay, fine. Availability results and see this. Still the success is one and you are able to see the zeros, right? Okay. By looking into the log, I will be able to say that it is not working. So now you understood each and every log information is stored. It is trying to ping from different locations, and I'm able to see that location and what is the time frame that it has tried to ping that URL. Here you are able to see six something, right? It is UTC timings. If you want to change it to your own timings, then you can make it to your own IST timings and then do it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so till this point, any doubts? So today what we have used as App Insights. Why we use App Insight? Application logs. To see the application logs. So if you want to retrieve the information from the tables, what is the query that you need to raise? KQL, Custo Query Language. Is it equals to SQL? The syntax is completely different. Okay. What are the two tables that you have used as of now? Availability test and joins and request. Sorry. Can we do joins? Yes, we can. We will see in the later classes. Okay. And we have discussed about one more thing within the app inside that is called as availability testing. What does an availability test do? It is continuously going to ping the URL. And if it gets success for 200, that means it is working. If it is not, it is not working. As of now, in the log information, you saw that. Can we send a, can we set up an alert so that we can get an email notification? Yes, we can do that also. But in later classes, we will see this. Okay. Any doubts till this point?